right, for solving these problems, it's really important to remember that the original cost always goes with 100%. Okay, when setting up the proportions, if it says the original cost in the problem, or if the context indicates what the original cost is, that always goes with 100%. Okay, that will help in setting up those proportions. We are starting our last standard in ratios and proportions today, and what we're doing is taking everything we learned about proportions and putting them into story problems. All right, so this problem says after sales tax, a $100 handbag costs $101. What is the sales tax percentage? Write your answer using a percent sign. So our labels are going to be money and percent, because that's what they give us in the problem. It's asking for a percentage. So we have money and percent. $100 is the original cost. The original cost is all of the cost at the beginning. So all of something is 100%. If you're giving all of your effort, you say you're giving 100% effort. So all of it is 100%. So $100 is 100%. Original price, 100%. Now it's just a coincidence that those numbers are the same. The original price and the percentage won't always be the same number. It just turns out that way in this problem. Okay? Then the price after sales tax is 101. So we put 101 on top where the money is. What is the percent after sales tax? We would cross multiply and divide, and you can use a calculator for that. But when you multiply by 100, you're actually just adding 2 zeros on the end. And then when you divide by 100, you're taking 2 zeros off. So we end up with 101 as our percentage. And if you think about it, in this ratio, if the numbers are the same, in this ratio, the numbers are going to be the same as well. Okay? So we have 101%. So how much did the percent increase from 100 to 101? That's how much our sales tax is. What percent did our sales tax add on to the original percent? So we went from 100 up to 101. So what is the amount of sales tax? Would just be 1%. That's how much it increased. Which is correct. Good. All right, Kendra is shopping online and finds a great deal on swing sets. Kendra pays $210 for a swing set that originally cost $525. What percentage is the discount? Okay, so our original cost is right here. So what percentage goes with that number? Would be 100%. Okay, let's set up our proportion. Again, we have money and percent. So $525 is the original cost, 100%. Kendra pays $210. So we put 210 on top with the money. What percentage is that? Now we're asking for what percentage is the discount. Okay, so this is how much she pays. That percentage is going to be the percent that she pays. So we'll have to subtract to figure out what percent the discount is. Okay, so we cross multiply, divide, multiply 210 by 100. And then divide by 525. I'll have to do cross multiply, divide. You can use a calculator for that. This turns out to be 40%. So she paid actually 40%. How much was the discount? We have to do 100 minus 40, which is 60. So her discount was actually 60%. Good. Let's try one more of those. A discount store buys a shipment of tents at a cost of $35 each. The tents will be sold for $42 a piece. What is the markup percentage? Okay, so this is the original cost, which 100% goes with that original cost. So if I set up a proportion, again we have money and we have percent. $35 is the original cost. That's 100%. All right, it's going to be sold for $42. What percentage is that? Okay, so a markup adds on to, increases the price. So we're going to have to subtract again here to figure out how much the markup is. So cross multiply divide. 42 times 100 is 4,200. And then divide that by 35. We get 120. Okay. So how much is the markup? The markup is not 120%. The markup is 120 minus 100. The difference between those 20. Good. Okay, this link is similar to the first link, except instead of finding the percentage, now we're finding the original price. Okay, so we want to remember the original price always goes with 100% in our proportions. Okay, so because of the problem, our labels are still money and percent. Says we have a 50% off sale. The sale price of a DVD player is $22. What was the original price? So we're trying to find the original price. So our question mark goes with 100%. Then $22 is 50% of the price, because we start out with 100%, subtract 50%, because that's what the sale is, leaves us with 50%. So $22 is 50%. What is 100%? Cross multiply divide, and that will give us $44. So the original price is $44. Good. Then we have a 25% off sale. Danny buys a leaf blower during the sale. Danny pays $132. What was the original price? Okay, again, we set up our proportion with labels. All right, the original price is what we're trying to find. So again, our question mark is with 100%. If it's 25% off, that means we're paying 75%. So $132 is 75%. So 75 goes on the bottom, 132 goes on top. Cross multiply and divide. 132 times 100 is 13,200 divided by 75 is 176. So the original price is $176. And one more, we have 75% off. Buying a silver necklace, the sale price is $18. What is the original price? So again, our question mark is with 100% because we're trying to find that original price. If it's 75% off, that leaves us with 25% left, and that price that goes with that, 25% of the original price is $18. Then we cross multiply and divide. 18 times 100 is 1,800 divided by 25 be 72. So it'd be $72. Third link here, we are actually going to have to write two separate proportions in order to solve this problem. One, to figure out what the price is after it's marked down, and two, to figure out the total cost after sales tax is added. Okay, so our first proportion, our labels are still money and percent, and it says the original price is $80. So with the 80 is 100%, because 100 always goes with the original price. It's marked down 75%. So 100%, which is a total minus 75, leaves us with 25%. That means she only paid 25% of the original price. So we'll put 25 on the other side to figure out how much she actually paid for the item. So 80 times 25 divided by 100 turns out to be 20. Okay, cross multiply, divide. Now we have to figure out how much she paid total, including tax. Now our original price for the second part of the problem is 20. 20 is our new original price. So when I set up my second proportion, we have money, we have percent. $20 is the original price, so it's with 100%. To figure out how much the sales tax is, we want to know what 15% is. Question mark on top, cross multiply, divide. 20 times 15 is 300, divided by 100 is 3. So the sales tax is $3. The cost of the item is 20. We add those two together, and it cost $23. Okay. All right, so these problems, instead of taking one proportion, they take two proportions. Okay, Johnny, a salesperson, sold a silver coat rack originally priced at $75, but it was on sale for 20% off. All right, that sentence is our first proportion. If Johnny's commission is 5% of the sale price, how much commission did he make from the sale? Second sentence will be our second proportion. So let's start at the beginning. We have money, we have percent. Okay, original price is 75, so we know it's 75 and 100 together. 20% off. So if I subtract 20% from 100%, that leaves us with 80%. That means Johnny's going to pay 80% of the original price, and we can use proportion, figure out how much that will be. Cross multiply, divide. 75 times 80 divided by 100 is 60. So that means he paid $60 for that jacket. Now he gets, or the person that bought it, paid $60 for it. He gets 5% commission off of that price. So again, 60 is our new original price. So in our second proportion, 100 goes with 60. And we want to figure out what the tax or the commission is, 5%. Cross multiply, divide. 60 times 5 is 300, divided by 100 is just 3. So this would be our answer, $3 he made in commission. All right, one more we'll do. Kathleen treated her sister to lunch while visiting her in Yardley. Their lunch cost $100, and the sales tax in Yardley is 4%. If Kathleen left a 15% tip on the $100, how much in total did she pay? Okay, we're gonna have one proportion for the tip and one proportion for the sales tax. Okay, so their lunch was $100. That's the original price. That's the number that we're starting with. So again, our labels are money and percent. We have $100 is 100%. Okay. If we want to figure out the sales tax, we want to know what 4% is. Okay, and this is where proportions make it easy. If $100 is 100%, 4% is just going to be $4. That would be the sales tax. Now to find the tip. Now we're not going to use this number to figure out the tip. We're still going to use the $100 because it says she left a 15% tip on the $100. So our labels are still money and percent. $100 is still the original price. We want to know what 15% is. If $100 is 100%, $15 is 15%. Okay? We want to know how much it costs total. We have three numbers making up our total cost: our tax, our tip, and then the original cost, 100. So we add all of those together to get our total cost. All right, estimating the amount of the tip by rounding the bill to the nearest dollar before calculating. So we are just trying to get close approximations of the tip, not the exact amount. And this would be useful if you're actually out to a restaurant and you're trying to figure out how much to tip the waiter or the waitress. Okay, so 20% tip on a bill of $41.42, round to the nearest dollar. So if it's 50 cents or more, it rounds up to the next dollar. If it's below 50 cents, it rounds down. So $41.42 would round to just $41. Okay, then we will set up a proportion. Our labels are still money and percent in order to solve this. The 41 would be our original price. So we're starting from, that's 100%. We want a 20% tip, so we put 20 over here where the percents go. How much money is that? 41 times 20 is 820. Divide by 100, it's going to be $8.20. Okay, same thing, it's below 50 cents, so that's going to round down to just 54. 54 is our original price, so that goes with 100%. We want to know how much 20% is. So cross multiply, divide. 54 times 20 is 1,080 divided by 100. So let's write that out. 54 times 20 would be 180. 1,080. 1,080 divided by 100. Move the decimal twice. It's going to be 1080. Okay, we're at 55.50 on this one, so that is going to round up to the next whole number of $56. So 56 is our original price. It's with 100%. We want to know what 20% is. So 56 times 20, we can do 56 times 2, add a 0, 1,120. Divide by 100, move the decimal twice. It's going to be 1120. On our last link here, we need to figure out which proportion fits the problem and then actually solve it. Says Elio makes candles that are 14 centimeters tall. Each candle burns 8 hours before going out. He's wondering how many hours a 21 centimeter candle can burn. He assumes that the relationship between the height of the candle and the number of hours it burns is proportional. Okay, the way I like to do these problems is set up the proportion the way I do it and then figure out which one of these match. Okay, so our labels are going to be centimeters and hours. Usually the labels are right behind the numbers, or it's also in the question. All right, so 14 centimeters burns 8 hours. 21 centimeters will burn how many hours? Okay, now I can tell which one of these proportions work by which one of those proportions cross multiply the same numbers I have being cross multiplied. Okay, so I have 8 and 21 being cross multiplied, and that would be the first one has 8 and 21 being cross multiplied. The second one has 8 and 14. So it's not the second one, it's the first one. Then we actually need to solve that. 21 times 8 is 168. divided by 14. Instead of doing the long division, I'll use my calculator quick and I get 12. Good. Next question, Ariel works construction. She knows that a 7-meter long metal bar weighs 56 kilograms. So I already know my labels are kilograms and meters. 7-meter bar weighs 56 kilograms. She wants to figure out the weight of a bar. So question mark in the weight, which is kilograms, that is 2 meters long. So cross multiply, divide. 56 times 2 is 112. Divided by 7 turns out to be 16. Works, we're going to look at which numbers are being cross multiplied. I have 56 and 2, so we need to figure out which one does that. And it's the first one, so it would be our first proportion. All right, Scott likes to run long distances. He can run 20 kilometers in 85 minutes. He wants to know how many minutes it will take him to run 52 kilometers at the same pace. So he's running the same pace, so it's proportional. We have kilometers for our label and minutes. So 20 kilometers takes 85 minutes. How long will it take him? Question mark in the minutes, how long will it take him to run 52 kilometers? Okay. Again, to figure out which proportion works, I look at which numbers are being cross multiplied, be 85 and 52, which in this case is the second one. Then if I actually do the multiplication, 85 and 52 divided by 20 turns out to be 221 minutes.